All right, welcome back. This is the Dawgs Central show. We are here to do a little Vandy film review. Uh, I've been traveling, Josh has been traveling, we've all been busy, so it's good to have the gang back together. I'm Graham Coffey. As always, that is Mr. Josh Hancher, aka Dog_Stats, and John Smith, also known as John Tweet Sports on Twitter. How are you guys tonight?
We are live on Twitter, so all my cables being plugged back in worked, so I'm good.
Beautiful.
It's not a fist pump opening, but it's
it's close.
It's a Vandy opening.
You're not a hard man to please. What can we say?
That's awesome. I'm doing great.
Yeah,
I'm doing well. It has been a busy few days, but I'm glad to be with you gents and talking about a 55-0 beatdown of Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
which means Vanderbilt hasn't scored since the first half of 2019 versus Georgia. That's a long time, 10 quarters.
I mean, imagine losing to a football team from the state of Tennessee this week. Couldn't be me, you know.
Could not be me. Could you imagine? Could you listen? Just think what would happen if a Kirby Smart team gave up more points than the program had ever allowed since 1907. Could you imagine? I mean, that's
who was that team?
115 years. Alabama. 115.
No. Who was the team? Who scored 50?
Oh, it was Sewanee.
Sewanee.
Yeah. Did you see my tweet? Did you see my tweet on Sunday? Yeah, man. Sewanee, Episcopal School of the South, baby. Episcopalians. My priest, Reverend Kirk LaFon, shout out, wore purple pants in honor.
Hey, those Episcopalians could ball at the turn of the 20th century, guys. Those Episcopalians could ball. Listen,
yeah.
Tennessee's offense, 2022 Tennessee's offense is no 1907 Sewanee, right? but they did all right.
Graham, you were in the press box. How was it? Take us through. I know you talked about it a lot. You wrote your 12 takeaways, but I haven't talked to you since then. So, was it awesome?
It was awesome. Yeah, no, it was really fun day. Really grateful that got to go do that. Got to eat dinner with John on Friday night, which was cool. Yeah. When I got into town, he met me at Taco Mac and waited for the rush hour traffic to pass. We watched the Braves lose, but yeah, it was cool. I mean, the coolest part, truthfully, was just the kind of getting down on the field. I was down there for an hour and a half before the game during warmups. That Georgia's offensive line and defensive line are big human beings, but then you get in front of them and it's like, wow, those are some big human beings. Broderick Jones is just an incredible specimen of a human being. It is unreal standing next to that dude and realizing this guy runs faster than you do, and he's 6 inches taller than you are and weighs 100 pounds more, if not 120 pounds more than you do. The physics there don't really make sense, but it was a great experience. It was a lot of fun. Definitely some things that I kind of picked up on. I think, just being in the stadium and having the full all 22 view that I thought were interesting that we can get into on the show.
Yeah, we're not going to have the all 22 view. We had the ESPN interns doing the game, but it actually wasn't as bad as some of the other games. But hey, let's just watch some of the games. We didn't rehearse a lot, so we're just gonna run some plays and have some fun with it. And we sent out a link on our website, so if you want to kind of come in and watch alongside of us and maybe even join the conversation, you can. I thought I'd never say that, but all right, there we go. First play. Hopefully, with these will just run a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the second play. Sorry, I missed the first play.
There we go.
Just the old.
We're off to a great start.
I
thought that Georgia came out and are we in fast motion? Oh, okay.
No. He's that fast.
No, it
Brock
seems
Bowers.
like this is in high speed. I thought Georgia came out and ran the ball well on the opening drive and sort of picked up right from the Auburn game. Still continues to be like half gap, half zone. I thought this was a pretty important play early, like this 3rd and 8 to Roseme. If we can back that up, or wait, this is the replay right here. Yeah, like Bennett had a really nice, clean pocket. And it seems like him and Roseme have developed a chemistry on these throws. Like he had a couple of these again and had a couple against Missouri, a couple against Auburn. Like 3rd and long, the deep in route to Roseme seems to be the comfort zone play right now.
Yeah. Well, they're starting to find where, that rhythm of where Roseme is starting to find the rhythm of where he sits down, right? And especially in those, when you have those zones and those soft coverages. And I think Stetson, just that rhythm of where to look, like that's something that just takes, you just got to play together on some of those plays and know kind of where to look. But I agree with you, starting to get there. And I loved following up that play with Kenny McIntosh taking it for 8 yards, and then Stetson Bennett with
can we back that up real quick, Josh?
Yeah.
To 7.
Yeah. Look at this. I mean, look at this pull. Look at this edge right here. Set.
Yeah, with
we got
Ratledge
Bowers.
coming.
Yeah, and Darnell. That's what I was trying to get to. That's it. Watch Darnell.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just he takes this guy, picks up the second level, and he's just gonna move him right out of everywhere.
You poor bastard. Having to.
I mean, that was about 100. It looked like about 190-pound DB that Darnell was just taking for a ride.
It looks like he was picking up his kid, like on the playground. I thought this was an interesting call. Like, I kind of wondered if this was just Stetson, like seeing something in the defense and freelancing. Just the way they played this entire Vanderbilt game was, I thought, very. Let's not get anybody hurt. Let's not put anything on tape. Not that a quarterback draw is some big secret play, but like, I don't know. It just surprised me a little bit to see him take off. He did a good job, I thought, of getting down and not putting himself in a bad spot, but it was an effective run play for sure.
Yeah. We're going to see some red zone stuff here. I mean, I kind of noted in my Sunday stats thing, it's like we weren't super efficient in the red zone, but again, it just seems like we weren't going to do any of our, I get tired of that. Oh, we didn't use the real playbook, whatever. But they were methodical and they just, they moved the chains, but it was not electric in the red zone. But
this one right here, clip 10. Go back real quick, Josh. Like this one is one that you hate to see, right? Like you hate to see tackle for a loss in the red zone, especially when it's just broad. It's just Broderick. It's right there in the middle. It's Broderick, and I think Cedric Van Pran, kind of pancakes his guy, and it causes a.
Well, is Darnell supposed to pick up that edge defender?
I think he is. Well, I don't know. I mean, sometimes you let the edge go, but it does feel like he needs to block down. Like it definitely feels like everything is going that direction. And for some reason, I mean, I think it's the RP. It's probably the option.
Zone
like
read.
Stetson has. Stetson has the ability to pull it. So you got to account for this guy for that to be available. But I don't know. I just look at this and I see, Broderick right there. A guy just shoots a gap and makes a good play, but that's one that you just hate to see. And I think that's I wanted to call that one out specifically because I think that's the kind of stuff that's plagued Georgia a little bit in the red zone consistently, right? It's just like that weird tackle for a loss that happens randomly.
And you also had McConkey like on the top of the screen. This was I mean, like Stetson said it in post game, but he was like, I was really surprised. They just Kenny just went out and they didn't cover him. And I literally, I think I tweeted the same thing right after this play. It was like they had a blitzer coming off the edge, and that dude just did not change his call at all. And it almost took Stetson a second to get the ball over there to him. Like it felt like, I don't know, it felt like it took longer, but Yeah, I mean McIntosh, dude. If you get him in space on that edge, like if you just give him a yard or two to kind of get going, he's really good in those situations.
Yeah, my friend Gator Hater had over under 5 TD receptions for McIntosh, so I think he might hit that over.
For the year, for the year he's at 4 for the year. No, I'm sorry, he's at rushing and receiving. He's at 5, so he has 4 rushing and 1 receiving touchdown.
Is that just 1? Oh, I thought he had more than that. No, he's got more than 1 reception, right?
Just 1 receiving
touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know that play right there. I mean, I guess that counted as receiving touchdown. I know there's been some plays behind where Georgia has gotten the ball to him in that kind of, pass behind the line, or
it's a rush. Yeah. It's backward pass.
It's a rush.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Gator Hater.
Yeah. This that play was kind of interesting. Just working these little inside slants and stuff early a lot, and AJ Swann's a good quarterback. Like, they only had 150 yards in this game, but I actually was very impressed with him. I mean, that was a strong play by Tyke Smith right there, like breaking that up on clip 16. Yeah, I don't know. I thought Ringo again was like kind of suspect, but in a way that's not going to show up on the stat sheet, right? Like,
yeah, you're never going to get criticized for dropping an interception or a pick six and stuff like that. But you'd like to see the elite players make those plays, I believe.
Is this the play right here that
it's coming up?
Misplays? No, it's not this one. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, that was 3rd down and 34. Kind of a tough situation for Vanderbilt. We did see like a little more of these kind of 2-3 tight end sets where they were bunched on Saturday, which was a favorite from back in the national title game. That was
he was clearly.
Yeah, dude, Dylan Bell's faster than I thought, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I think he could be like another kind of like lad, like 3-star guy who's just a football player and really athletic, very agile, twitchy, get him the ball and he makes things happen.
While we watched this replay that they call back obviously correctly, but John, you just started it off about a 55-0, 500 yards to 150 yards. And it's just like, John and I were kind of going back and forth in the text thread. It's like, it's bizarre because it's like, Georgia's offense is usually in transition or building to something. And it's just like, we've just been not effortlessly, but doing this, but it's just like ho hum about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's almost
right there, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's Georgia has been running relatively vanilla concepts, but just being in a place where using motion to get mismatches, using, good, getting better by the week, kind of zone blocking and just getting guys in space and positions to make plays. And that's something that, it definitely feels very different. Starting last year, it felt kind of this way at certain times, but this year it feels very different from previous years of the Georgia offense, where it felt like you had to actually you're having to work for a lot of things. It was a lot of physicality, a lot of those kind of things. And now it's Monken scheming up. Like, this is a good, another good example where it's just, you just take guys, you put a formation out there and go for it.
Can we go back one play real quick? Sorry. Sure. Yeah, I thought one thing that was kind of bothersome going back to the Auburn game and showed up again this week was like the downfield blocking on this team was so good against Oregon and South Carolina that, which is why I think it's been effortless, right? Kind of to your point in this conversation. Like, I think you've been able to just flip the ball out to the side and get 8, 12, 16 yards regularly because you've got Darnell and Brock and Ladd's a great blocker and Roseme and a lot of these guys. And I know that like defenses have definitely adjusted to stop it and have started keying on that. But I did think on Saturday there were some plays where it was like Georgia, this is just, I don't know. I don't like the call there. I don't know why you're running a tunnel screen like that close back into the linebackers. But still, like the blocking was not good. And I thought that was the case on a couple instances Saturday. And I think it's important that they kind of get back into that mentality because that's not really a skill thing. It's just kind of they decide to have an emphasis on it and they do it well. So I hope we'll see more of that.
Yeah, I also don't love that last play that we just ran by. I don't love running the 5-yard route on 3rd and 8. It's like stuff like that I think is inexperience with guys like Dylan Bell as well that shows up from time to time.
For sure.
The defense was really stuffing a lot of plays.
They were. Yeah.
The first 2 drives for Vanderbilt,
that play
5
was awesome.
plays. Yeah, 5 plays minus 10 yards. The second drive, 3 plays minus 1 yard. And then you even the third drive, you had 3 plays and 9 yards. So it took Vanderbilt till the 4th drive of the game to have any positive offensive yardage. Period.
Yeah, Georgia's top 10.
I think sorry, but if you run that playback, like the thing you saw, I'm sorry, on 20. Is that that's the right one? This was the play that Missouri hit on Georgia like 2 or 3 times for big runs, right? Like these stretch zone plays. And so I don't know if you're looking for something out of a Vanderbilt game, like that you can pull some bigger picture takeaways from the way that those defensive linemen are using their arms to keep those linemen off of them and keeping their feet chopping and moving laterally downhill towards the play and basically staying in the gaps, even as that O-line moves, I think is really encouraging to see. And like, I don't know, oh God, yeah, this is the Ringo play. Like that should have been an 89-yard touchdown.
That absolutely should have been. And those are the things that we see from both Ringo and Lassiter this year, where you just have kind of these inexplicable situations trying to make a play and just if that's a catch, he's gone.
Yeah, and the thing that was frustrating was like he was in position to pick that ball off and slowed up considerably. Like he just misjudged it. I mean, I guess the encouraging part is like we finally saw him flip his hips and turn his head and try and play the football. But after that, I don't like how likely is he to do it again, right?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you would like to see him if they're working on that and he's doing it in the game. You still don't expect to, master it your first time. So maybe they put something out there that they're going to work on. But I was just going to make the earlier, that Georgia is in the top 10 and off defensive stuff rate, which is plays that get stopped at or behind the line of scrimmage are like 20, almost 23% or something like that. So nearly. 1 out of every 4 or 5 downs, they're getting no yards or behind the line of scrimmage, which is, and then when you're considering overall the defensive success rate is, low 30s, it's pretty good. And it's not 21 defense, but it's might be an all-time defense that we won't see for a while. So this defense is getting better, I believe.
Josh, can we go back to 33? Yeah, so this is cool. All right, so this is an RPO play. So you see the lineman pulling here. Like, they're showing the offensive line. No. And Stetson's got his head up. He's got an opportunity to pull it. Am I skipping?
No, you're good. It's the same play.
Okay. Yeah, but just being able to like that throw was insane. And I don't know that the broadcast really properly captured how tight of a window that was. An athletic play by Bowers on the sideline. But those are the type of plays I'd like to see Georgia kind of running more of with these big bodies, those kind of stop fades. I thought it was exciting to see them do it. And then you show them gap scheme again right here on the very next play. And Kenny Mack hits you up the gut for 6. Like I thought this was a nice kind of bounce back from the offensive line after not starting the drive very well on the ground with some of their blocking schemes.
Yeah, just one of those kind of effortless looking touchdown drives after a big punt return.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked pretty early. I mean, there was definitely opportunities for Vandy to move the ball, but they did not execute. But I was thinking it was going to be a shutout pretty early. Did you get that sense watching it from up top? Or, I mean, you were in the stadium too, right, John?
Yeah. Go ahead, Graham.
Yeah, no, I did. I mean, I don't know. Like it felt like that when they missed the field goal before the half. It was like, okay, this was their chance.
Also when they fumbled on that fourth or fifth drive that they had in the first half. Yeah, I think the missed field goal was definitely what sealed it for me. But that fumble where they had they'd gone 50 yards or something and had a little bit of momentum and then fumbled it, and that's when it hit me. I was like, yeah, this is not happening. It's going to be very, very tough for them to score today. And I think Georgia too at the end of the half when Georgia, when the offense just rattled off 3 touchdowns in a row, you knew what was happening. Sorry about that.
Dude, this run was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, like, again, we were talking earlier, kind of that zone blocking is getting better. I think you were talking about that, John. Like,
yep.
Saw a nice zone play there, and then this was a gap play that was poorly blocked. Branson does a good job of turning it into a 4-yarder, but so this was like like you just saw Bell earlier run a route that was 2 yards short of the sticks, and then there finds the right spot, sits down.
Yeah. Second and 5, you pick up 8. That's the goal every time, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not a high A-dot throw, as some might criticize the Stetson Bennett for, but moving the chains, keeping the offense on schedule, and just taking what the defense gives you. It's that's.
I mean, all of these things right here, right? Like, I mean, these are the things that affect your A-dot, but they also are things that you're taking what the defense is giving you. You're like you said, Josh, just now. I mean, you're keeping things on schedule, but also, I mean, it's also making your reads, your progressions. You're not in a situation where, Stetson Bennett is like Will Rogers back there, where it's just you're just throwing these tempo things all the time. You're actually making decisions, right? And you're making good throws. Yeah, that's a great throw too.
Well, and I mean, like that throw right there, you've got a guy in your face, and you kind of flick your wrist.
You're on your back foot,
Right. Yeah, I thought he made more down the field, like high air yard throws in this game than probably any other game this year. And he had a lot of throws from the opposite hash. And he did say, like, his arm, like, he warmed up better this week. He took care of his arm between possessions. He's had this shoulder injury, and I think it was kind of comforting to hear him say that, like, from a how does Georgia look for the rest of the year standpoint, because it's like, all right, well, maybe he's figured out how to take care of his body, kind of going into November. Because it does kind of explain the first half against Auburn.
It does. Right. Well, he got beat up in Mizzou, right? I mean, he was taking some licks.
Do you, all right? I need the football experts among us to tell me why we seem to always, and I know it's not the case, but we seem like we always do these little tosses to the short side of the field and just never really seem to hit. I mean, just I don't know. Just
I mean, they did against Missouri on that final drive.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea is to not get wide upfield, basically to like you saw that motion guy, how the linebackers started leaning. If you'll go to the other view. Yeah,
Oops, sorry.
Sorry.
Nope. Yeah.
There you go. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, you're gonna see him come in motion. You see those linebackers all shift.
Yep.
And so right here, like what should be happening is in a perfect world, Van Pran's getting on the left side of that number 0 of Orgy, a good linebacker. I mean, this is still probably a success play by success rate standards, but
yeah, it's also.
I think you're just trying to out leverage them and get upfield.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You're also in a 2nd and 7, kind of inside the 20 there. I mean, your goal is really you're trying to get yourself in a position to get a first down, get a goal to go situation as well too. But yeah, if Van Pran makes that block, on that toss, I think you probably see much better result.
Yeah, this was sweet. This was 13 personnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed your tweet, Graham. I was doing something else, and I saw it later. Yeah, there it is. This is a little bunch. Yeah, this is deadly, right? I think actually they took the penalty, so this may not even counted. But look at this,
dude. Look at Mims pancake that dude. Go back on that if you can.
I mean,
watch.
Yeah. Here he comes and just take him for a ride.
Wreck shop on that guy.
I mean, boom.
Yeah.
Linebacker gets through there, but he ain't gonna stop that. I think there was a penalty, and then he took the penalty. So you're right. It was it just seemed
we'll always have it in our hearts, if not in our
it's just kind of one of those plays we talked about. Not a great day inside the red zone for high efficiency or whatever, but they kept getting the yards, and Kirby was just like, "Screw this, dude, we're going for it," which I loved. And he didn't need to see another field goal kick. I mean, so I liked it.
Yeah, I was a big fan of going for it on 4th and 1 from the Vanderbilt 9.
Yeah, Edwards had to love that game. He was just getting the ball a lot and just getting chances to hit people. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're 6 minutes into the second quarter, and your yardage differential is 211 to 22. Successful screenplay here. Yeah, this was the drive you were talking about, John. They kind of got a little something going here. I did not think Robert Beal had a very good game. He just kind of looked flat-footed at times out there. They motioned him right. They put him in conflict there, and he did not respond well.
Yeah, this one was tough right here. Oof, man, if he hits that.
And Beal
he just lets him go. Like, it's just a wheel route, right? I mean, you just got to turn and run, and you can see him. It's what I don't understand is he's turning, but he's not turning and actually running. He keeps his eyes in the backfield. Yeah. And I think it's just, definitely a misassignment because you have another linebacker there covering that backfield as well. JDJ, if you watch him, he's in position right there. It's like, just turn and run.
Yeah, he looks real slow in that clip. Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of odd. I saw Kirby talking to him after that play too. I mean, he wasn't like yelling at him, but he was trying to explain, hey, Tresman Marshall in the game right there, 15. That was good to see him back in the lineup a little bit. 3rd and 8. We kind of faked like we were going to run a A-gap blitz, but they didn't do it. This is what I'm talking about when I say AJ Swan's a good quarterback. Like, this is a hell of a throw right here into a very, very small window where only his guy can get it. Like, that was a dime. But then Tyke Smith is going to come in and ruin everything in a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, we were ready for that play. And they swapped out quarterbacks. And number 23, come on.
I think it's
next play. Yeah, no.
Oh, that's it. They just missed it, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Classic. Classic SEC network.
I think it was actually Chris that hit it out.
No, it's Tyke. Chris jumps on it.
Really?
Yeah, watch. He's still right there, right?
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, he's still got it right there. It's moving.
Yeah, no, you're
it's
right.
right here. Yeah, here.
Yeah,
you
okay.
go.
All right. Yeah, I saw Chris on the tackle, and then
Yeah.
there you go. My bad. Doubting the
No, you're good. What?
I had a Downton Graham coffee. No. At this point, I had so many football games going on. It was wild.
What a day! I will say the 3:30 window on Saturday was pretty packed.
Yeah,
with ball games.
Yeah, everybody was sitting in the in the room waiting for Kirby to show up for the press conference. Like as that final drive was going on, they were like, "What are we going to do if he walks in here? Like, are we going to tell him to not start his press conference? Like, we want to watch this game."
Of the Alabama-Tennessee game.
Yeah. Darnell Washington, dude.
As I understand, this looked better in the stadium than it did on TV. It
was pretty awesome. Georgia on Tap, one of our Dawgs Central subscribers, like I tweeted about this when it happened, and he was like, "I bet the ball looked like a Nerf ball in his hands," and then he like found a picture of him grabbing it and like sent it to me. He's like, "Yeah, it looks like a Nerf ball, doesn't it?" And I was like, "Dude, I didn't realize honestly in the stands that like he never had to use his other hand. Like he just snagged it and immediately went into carrying it down the field." But I like they did some things with Darnell in this game that kind of felt like just, I don't know, like, hey, we've shown ourselves that we can do this whenever we want. And at some point down the road, like, I think there's going to be a time where they need to drive, and it's just going to be like, Darnell, go stand out wide there and run 12 yards and turn around for the next fucking next 7 plays down the field. Like, because I think they can do it. I mean, we'll point it out in the third quarter. There's a play where he lines up out wide, and it's just like, you can't defend that.
I'll tell you. I'll give you a stat right now. Cameron Latu, 6 receptions for 90 yards versus Tennessee.
Yeah.
So I think there could be a time where that has to happen, and that could be a potential right there.
Agreed. I think we're gonna get a big dose of those guys down the road. Yeah, Stetson ran a lot for like a Vanderbilt game, you know?
Yeah, he did.
This was beautiful. Right. Oh wait. Never mind.
That was pretty good.
Was a nice play. Yeah. I thought this was the Don Blaylock touchdown. I think it's coming up though. I think that was 3rd and goal.
Yeah, they're just trying to like run it in, and then when they third down, they're just going to throw it.
You're 2 minutes left in the half, too. Yeah, you're 2 minutes left in the half, so you're trying to wind that clock down too.
This was not the spot on the field for that call, in my personal opinion. But yeah, Blaylock comes in motion right here, dude. When he sticks his foot in the ground and hits, like him and Stetson have really nice timing. But I think he's probably the best route runner on the team again. Like he looks, I don't know. And in person, I was like, damn, dude, like he's moving really well.
Yeah, if you back it up just a little bit, Josh, this, like you said it, Graham, but putting your foot in the ground right here, what it does is that instant leverage that you create right there. It's like there's nothing a defender can do. There's no way they can come across your face when you create that leverage. I mean, it's just always going to be there if you run a route.
I was ticked off they didn't do a replay on that.
Yeah, it's wild.
SEC network, man.
I mean, the other thing that, like, talking about kind of, there's a time coming down the road for Darnell and Brock to, have like 18 combined targets in a game. Like, Dom played 4 snaps on Saturday and had 2 catches for 36 yards and a touchdown. And I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like they know that he's a dude, and we're going to see a lot more of him in some of these, maybe more competitive games over the month of November and December, which I think is exciting. This should have been a pick as well. dude, I'm not trying to pick on Ringo, but like there was
Mm-mm.
literally 4 plays on Saturday that he should have picked off or could have picked off, and you'd like to see him make like 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah, I mean, this one right here is just there's no the receiver doesn't grab his hands. Yeah, there's no reason.
The receiver's like trying to tackle him after the ball goes by because he thinks that he should have it.
Yeah, because he's thinking it's gonna be a pick 6 and Dan Jackson's gonna get trucked by somebody.
Yeah.
Poor Dan.
I love Dan. I'm getting a Dan jersey, man.
Dirty Dan.
That's for
this was interesting. I don't know. Every time I see a team run those kind of stacked bunches out wide like that, I always think of Bama last year.
Yeah, I hated this play right here because again, a competent quarterback, like that's a first down. You've got to get more leverage. Again, not picking on Ringo, but like that's another one on him where it's you got to have more leverage on Ringo. Well, you have no leverage.
Just breaking it.
No,
down.
But it's
trying to make a joke.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 10, and the receiver runs a 13-yard route, and you have no leverage on him. It's like you got plenty of time in that space to close that gap, and a competent quarterback.
Put your hands on somebody, dude.
Yeah,
like
you have to.
Big as hell. Get up there and jam somebody at the line.
Just let him free.
This was a nice run by McIntosh, dodging that tackle in the backfield.
Yeah, it was wild.
I thought the offensive line, like, kind of just, I don't know, they didn't play poorly in the second half, but like they just kind of like weren't really. I don't know. Once Georgia went up 28-0, you just kind of felt like they sort of almost like lost interest a little bit. Like they were, playing with the vegetables on their plate. This run though from Dejan was really nice. And again, Georgia hitting a big gap scheme run. It's nice seeing McClendon up at the second level. Like he's 6-7 yards downfield. Plowing dudes.
Yep. Staple of the Kirby Death March. A little early yet, but there. You were trying to get Kirby to throw some love to him in the press conference, and he just said, "Well, it was Vandy, I believe."
That's basically was his answer.
That was pretty much.
Graham asked what running for 5 yards a carry meant for the O-line starting to gel.
No, I didn't ask him that. I asked if I said you ran for 5 yards a carry, again this week.
Yep.
You've had the same crew for 7 games in a row now. Do you feel like they're starting to gel? And he basically was like, 5 yards a carry is a lot, but there's bigger people coming down the road.
That's exactly what
it was. An interesting answer because it was like yes, but no. It was kind of how I took it. Like, I don't know. It was,
like you said,
I didn't get like a angry side eye or
No.
I thought I came out clean for my first.
No, you did absolutely.
You didn't absolutely. He didn't cut you off. He didn't smirk. He didn't say, "Listen, you guys." Like none of that. It was just like Josh said. He basically said, "Yeah, we did, but it's Vandy."
yeah, pretty much.
Tough but fair, as we say.
I mean, he said quite a few times. He's like, "Well, they're an outman football team." I mean, basically, what I hear him saying on a lot of his like press conferences is like, "Yeah, like I recruited really well, so like pretty much we'll find out." We'll find out how good these guys are at some point down the road, but it hasn't happened yet.
Here is classic Kirby. So what people have to understand about Kirby Smart is before the game, he wants nothing more than for his team to think they're playing the best team in America and to go out there and rip somebody's heart out to the tune of 55-0. After the game, he wants nothing more than to have the opposing head coach leave with some type of dignity. And so before the game, he's like, Vandy's a good team. We respect them, like all these things. Then at the press conference, he's like, yeah, but I mean, you got to have players and we have players and they don't have players. Like he's always kind of propping opposing head coaches up when he blows them out, for the most part. Not all of them, but guys like Clark Lee and Shane Beamer and those guys, right? Like he's always feels like he's trying to throw a little bit of a bone to them.
I mean, maybe not Shane Beamer.
Well,
correct. Bane Schemer.
Do you want to go back to that Ringo tackle, or we want to just move on? Because
I'm sorry, I missed it.
No, it's just actually, we've been dogging. Is it this one?
I think so.
Yeah. So it looked like a good tackle, and I think it's the next one, right? Yeah, it's the next
that was Bullard, or that was Chris Smith, I think. Yeah,
it's this one. So it looks like a good tackle, but then he comes down. You can see he just chips him, and then he does get lucky and wraps him up, but you can see it on this reverse angle. So
you got to bring your arms with you, man. You can't. Yeah,
I mean, that's if he bounces off, but he doesn't wrap him up and sack him. So.
Well, that's what they refer to. So you'll see this in clips. There's actually a clip from one of the All Access, Georgia All Access games where they show you clips from practice where Will Muschamp says, "Strike him, don't catch him, strike him." They call that catching when you just kind of like lean into the guy versus bringing your whole self. So
bringing the thunder, dude. Using
your
legs.
So this is on Edwards, right?
The wood
where Edwards misses this blitz pickup, right?
I think. Let's see again. I mean, it's really on.
If you look at it,
Van Pran. Here, look, slow it down a little bit if you can. Yeah. So Van Pran lets that guy get upfield. So Edwards kind of at that point is responsible to come and help.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
he just gets lost behind. Yeah, he just gets lost behind.
I would kind of put it more on Cedric, truthfully.
Yeah, Cedric gets beat off the block and doesn't allow Edwards to even make a play.
Otherwise, Edwards is probably sitting there ready to pick up the delay. But then they get a first down.
Yeah. Yeah, 2nd and 18, no problem.
I think this is Stetson's last drive of the game right here. And this is where Darnell does that. Did we already see him run the route where he turned around on 3rd down?
Yes.
Or on 2nd and 5?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah, it was right after you talked about that. I was like, and we were talking about something else, and it was like, yeah, there it is. Go get the yards.
Well, you had this was what was weird on this final. So this play right here, okay, you don't see it on tape, but this will be exciting, I think. The play where he was sacked just there. Arian Smith was in the game up there at the top of your screen, and dude, he toasted the corner and the safety on a post. Like he is open in the end zone, and Stetson is about like he's looking there to throw it, and then he gets hit. And did that ball get fumbled? I guess it did. But point being, like Arian looked really good to me on Saturday. He played 14 snaps, which was the most he's ever played in a Georgia football game in his entire career. And like this play right here, he runs this kind of circle route on the bottom, and he's not the primary read, but he was creating space all over the field. And I can guarantee you Monken and company is going to go back and watch this all 22 tape and be like, all right, it's time to deploy the weapon. This was a nice hookup from Stetson to Kyrus right here. You know, the other thing too that was interesting about this game, talking about air yards earlier, as far as I'm aware,
we lost Graham.
He had more throws outside the numbers than inside the numbers in his.
Tell us again. Career. We lost you there for a second, Graham.
As far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure this is Stetson's first game that he's had more attempts outside the numbers than inside the numbers since he's been a quarterback at Georgia.
Oh, not just this year. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like.
Yeah, I mean, 2020, he was really like heavily, like it was like about 70% of his passes were in the middle of the field.
I hated that play there. It was just 34-0. Just get out of bounds, throw it away, or whatever.
Yeah, he took a hit for no reason.
Yeah. So let's just skip this drive. And then, do we want to look at some Carson Beck stuff, or we want to wrap this up?
We can look at some Carson Beck.
Yeah, I think
this run too was pretty nasty, dude.
Man.
From Branson.
I love Branson Robinson, man.
Dude, standing behind him.
This is an 18. This is an 18-year-old kid. Like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah,
dude. Like
wild.
his look how wide his body is. Like from like in his thighs. Like his thighs are wider than his waist, which is not something you normally see on human being. Like he is built like a freaking like a I don't know, like a nuclear bunker, dude. Like just sturdy and stout. Carson Beck looks really good, man. Like really good. I was impressed. This was a nice job. Like he was getting through his reads and
yeah. I mean, you know, people there were folks who wanted to say, well, you're up 34-0 in the fourth quarter on Vanderbilt, and you know, who does Vanderbilt have in the game, whatever. But these has nothing to do with defenders on these throws. Like the place he's putting these throws is where whoever's covering that wide receiver, that's where you want to put the ball. So
no, I mean these reps are so important for him, man.
So important, yeah. So important.
And I mean, likewise for some of these younger guys on defense, like seeing Jalon Walker in the game, really impressed by him on Saturday. Like he played some in the second quarter, and they played him on the edge, which is not really his position. At least we didn't think it was. We thought he was an inside linebacker, but I mean, he had 3 stop plays on like 8 rush defense snaps. See him there wrap up well. Like he's a good player, dude. He's going to be a monster. And he's another one of those 18-year-old kids that's built like an 8-year NFL vet.
Yep.
Look at Carson. Look at the feed on Carson Beck, dude.
I thought a lot of those guys, man,
neck out there.
Yeah, I thought a lot of those guys. I thought Marvin Jones Jr. played well coming in. A lot of those young guys. Dalen Everett played real well on defense. I know we're looking at offensive plays right now, but
no, he did. Yeah, you're right. I mean, they put him in the second quarter, and
they did. Yeah,
he was a couple really good reps. Yeah. It was nice to see Meeks finally like have a couple nice catches, look comfortable. I thought that was a big takeaway for me, kind of going into the bye, is like some of these younger outside receivers that were forced into action when AD went down. They didn't really look the part, like up in Columbia and, you know, even sometimes against Auburn, but they looked comfortable on Saturday in a way I hadn't seen them yet.
Correct.
And then
Eric Gilbert, yeah.
Great to see. That was the most popular question in post-game interviews, was everyone asking players how they felt, and like all of them were like busting into big smiles. So this play right here, dude, no, that's not the one. There's a play coming up where Beck rolls right and it's overturned. This is it right here, dude. There's not a window at all. No. Dude, the throw that he made there was like some Aaron Rodgers type of like, you know.
I mean, look at that.
I'm just gonna create some shit. Yeah, like this was. I mean, dude, he's got arm talent for days.
Yeah, I mean that's a toe. You know, your toes out of bounds. You know, and he had possession of it. He grabbed it, and it just on the line. So.
Yeah, the ball placement was perfect. And it turned out okay because
this is what GA. Oh, not this one, but
yeah, we get to see.
I guess it was PI.
Kind of would have wanted to see the offensive line do a little better job on the goal line there. But dude, did you see that block from Morissette coming off the edge?
So good.
On this player here?
Yeah, watch.
Yeah,
here you go.
Watch him in motion, 23 at the top.
You know what I love about that is almost an old school crackback block. Like it's not like you can't do that anymore, but extending the hands just enough so that it's not physical enough, and it's on the line of scrimmage, so it's legal too. But that feels good.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. In
Love
2 years, you're gonna see him getting motioned all over the field, like opening up run plays to the outside. And then, yeah, that probably should have been a catch, I thought.
Yeah.
And here you go. You get Eric.
Top of your screen, hand in the dirt. Just whoop, yeah. Perfect.
Man.
It's crazy how well he moves for a big guy.
It is wild.
Yeah. Good luck, 43.
Yeah, dude. I was worried when he spun the ball. I was like, please don't throw the flag on him. I was worried they were going to throw a penalty on him.
I don't think they're throwing penalties in a 48-0 game with 7 minutes left in the game. If you're just,
dude, underrated thing to say, like, this is not something many people think about, but I thought the referee crew in this game was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
They kept it flowing, kept it moving, ready to get out of there and go watch the end of Alabama, Tennessee, just like everybody else was.
I love it. Yeah.
Did you see speaking of referees in Alabama, Tennessee, did you see somebody tweet, this is like the same referee that's been in like
Alabama, like,
yeah, it's like, come on, man.
He was the ref in the Texas A&M game last year, and then in the
like an Auburn,
Arkansas-Auburn.
Yeah.
There's another good play by Jelon Walker, by the way, number 11 there.
We're just sticking around for you know who. You know who we're sticking around for.
Money records.
Dangerous white man.
Cash. Yeah. Cash Money Records. I got to see that touchdown run again, though.
Dude, Ingram Dawkins also, we saw him in
back
the
on
game,
the field,
like early, like first third down of the game, I think he was in. B, nice to see Nyland Green take off and make a play. But yeah, I thought Ingram Dawkins looked really good, and I think they're going to need him to be his best self down the stretch.
Well, I think he's the kind of guy where I think, Kirby publicly challenged him, right? I mean, Kirby said, hey, Tyrion, it's all about how you prepare and how you practice and the things, how you show up. And it does seem like based on the reps that he's been getting, that actually made a difference. There you go. Cash Money Records.
Look how many times he looks back. Look how many times he looks back on his way in, dude. He's like,
he's got good feet.
What?
Where is it? Where is it?
Am I going to get where is it?
I love it. I love Cash Jones, man.
That's a good hole.
That is a hard worker. Yeah, it's a really good hole.
Yeah, Kirby loves him too, man. Kirby's always like raving about like putting him in on special teams and just his willingness to do anything.
These are the guys that Kirby loves because they just work. They love the work, like playing scout team, playing special teams, like just doing all the gritty and grimy stuff.
Dude, Cash is going to dine out on that touchdown for the rest of his life, too. Just wait until he scores a touchdown in the fourth Florida.
Just right. So Cash Jones. I'm doing all this preseason stuff. I'm just, scraping and cramming all this data from all the Power 5 teams. And then in some of the times, the PFF actually has them wrong. And so it was like, there was a Virginia running back that was on the Georgia roster. I was like, what? Who's this guy? And then so I had to remove him. And then it was like, Cash Jones, what? And I had to go. A couple times I had to go to the site and be like, oh, yep, he's Cash Jones. We have a Cash Jones. I like it. Did not know that. Graham, was that your first time being on the field? Have you ever gotten to be down there on the sideline before? Because I got a story to tell you about my time because I didn't want to jump on you in the beginning of the show, but
it was my first. Yes, it was my first time.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, I got to shout out Dave McStats for a site that we everyone's familiar with. He and I were buddies in college, and he was a little older than me, and he was dialed in with getting me as a production assistant for ESPN and ABC and stuff. So the Georgia Alabama game was the game of the week, ABC game of the week back in the day, and I worked cut all my classes, and I was just helping being a production assistant all week. And then as we get closer to the game, all these extra people started coming on, students and stuff came in, and they got all these cool jobs. This one girl went up to the press box. This one dude went here, and I was like the last one. And I was like, man, I'm going to be in this stupid this trailer, not even at the game. So she goes, okay, all right, you're going to be the red hat. So I get to go down to the field, and the red hat is the guy that listens to the director on the headsets and tells the referee when we're back from when the broadcast is back from commercial break. So right before kickoff, I go down there, and there's on the hedges is the headset. So I'm on the field for the opening kickoff and almost get tackled and running out of bounds. And then for the whole first half, I'm just listening to this New York director just peel every single cameraman in the show on the broadcast. But it was pretty wild. So I know how exciting that was for you to be down there on the field and all that. And just to be looking up at 90,000 was just a trip, dude. So I loved all your videos. I'm sure you guys follow Graham, but please, he's got tons of videos out there. And I hope you get to do some more good coverage for us, because it was awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Like basically once there's 5 minutes left in the game, you're allowed to go back down there. So that was kind of fun, because like I was standing down there with Dan Matthews from 680 The Fan when Cash broke his long touchdown run, and we were like right down from the Georgia bench, and you could see the genuine enthusiasm that occurred from everybody just being happy for him. But yeah, man, it was cool. It was a beautiful day in Athens. I mean, it was just, like gorgeous weather, and, the sunset was going on. The sky was kind of pink as the game was ending, being down there. And it's just, it was really fun day.
Dude, that was kind of fun. It was a little off. No script to it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. We're not going to go through every play every time, but we might do a little more looser film reviews just to lighten the workload on Graham a little bit and all of us. But we know you guys like watching the games with us and stuff. So let us know how you like that. And I think we're talking about doing some other teams getting ready for the Florida game. Is that right? Are we going to try this?
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, we're gonna at the very least we can show some plays at work. You'll be familiar with some of the other players on Florida's roster that you may not have heard of. And we're gonna start off Thursday night. Does that work for anybody? I'm just putting you guys on the spot. Very soon, if not Thursday night.
We'll announce when on the Dawgs Central Forum and on our Twitter feeds. But definitely excited to dive into a little Florida intel.
All right,
and really excited personally because I don't think Florida is very good.
Because you think they're garbage.
They're hot dog water. As someone hot trash.
I've edited 3 or 4 games, and it's just real kind of not really pretty to watch on offense.
Did your tweet? Was that last night that you? Yeah, I'm sitting there pretty much half asleep on my couch, and it was I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden I get this notification from Josh, just oh my God, Napier sucks. This offense is terrible. They're getting 7 yards of play, but that's because they're throwing checkdowns on 3rd and 13. And I was I wake up this morning and it's got, all these likes, the people
Wise Dog.
They were Wise Dog got on. Want to hear.
Yeah. No, it's true. I think it's true.
I've never called you a liar. I'm sure it's true.
No, so you guys can see what I've been seeing. So we're going to do this. Oh, okay. That's what I was going to say. So we're going to do these live premieres on YouTube, and we try to interact, but it's obviously we're watching it live with you, and we're getting the comments, but we're still trying to get you guys interacted on the show because of the way it works. We can't do the plays on YouTube because they're protecting the copyrights for the things, blah, blah, blah. So you guys on the website can get in and join us right here. I'm pointing to my little thing. You can be one of these people on this screen. They can't see what I'm pointing at, but you can be one of these people right there, right here. You can be one of these people.
Hey, look at that.
And anyway, so we want you guys to jump in there, especially for the Florida game. Come in and talk some crap, and we'll send a link in the forum page to join that. And then if anybody else can figure out how to do it better live with comments, please let me know. DM me or something because I haven't quite figured it out.
Love it.
There you go.
All right.
Love it.
All right. Cool. Good job, guys. Graham. Glad
Josh,
you got
thanks
home
for
safe.
putting this all together. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And I'm gonna we're like 5 seconds from 1 hour exactly. So I'm gonna just end it in with a go Dogs.
It's a beautiful thing. Go Dogs.
3, 2, 1.